Good morning, students. Here I am to begin the 9th standard lesson number 2, that is titled as Mauritius, written by R.K. Lakshman. The name Mauritius, this is the island which is in the Indian Ocean near Bombay. Okay, let us this whole lesson. Before going to the lesson, let me explain to you about the author. The R.K. Lakshman, the full name is Rashipuram Krishnaswamy Lakshman, born on 24th October 1921 in Mysore. His father was a headmaster in the school and he was a well-known educated person. Itself it says, since his father was a headmaster, sure they are well-to-do family. Okay, in the older days, if somebody was teaching in the school, they are well-to-do families. It's not so easy. Okay, and R.K. Lakshman was the youngest among the 6 sons. His father had 6 sons. He is among the youngest one. What happens? Okay, but one of his elder brother, R.K. Narayan, well known as a novelist. You know what is a novel? Writing the stories about the novel. You know, you have he is the greatest man, novelist. The R.K. Lakshman, when he was studying in the college, he had this habitual habit of drawing the cartoons and the Karavanjis for a Hindu Kannada magazine. So he was having this. For example, just a small pictures, which is black pictures, black and white pictures. That is called cartoons, Karavanjis. Okay, drawing it and sending on the newspapers. And older days, that was not a color print was not there. You know, not older days. There was only black and white printings. And he was helping the later. Also, he helped the Times of India to send this. Okay, according to the news, he used to draw the pictures and posted it to this magazines of Hindu Kannada magazine and later to the Times of India. He is also known for his art as this Malgudi Days is one of the very nice book which has written, the Malgudi Days. And R.K. Narayan had received many awards because of this. These are two things I mentioned here, 3 things. Padma Bhushana and Padma Vibhushana, and Megastheus about it. About Megastheus is about the R.K. Lakshman itself. Okay, let's see. The Mauritius is the travel log adapted from the idle hour from R.K. Lakshman. The title itself says is the travel log adapted from the idle hour. It is first of all it is a travel. It means this R.K. Lakshman wanted to travel to the Mauritius. Okay, as an idle hour, it is a time pass. Understood? Idle, you want to waste the time. Idle hour, you want to just because some people, if they don't have anything to do, they just want to idle their time. They go some rounding here and there, they waste things. But on this itself, it is recognized. This is the something. It is a creative idea of R.K. Lakshman. So here in this magazine, he gives us some pictures like a putting the small petrol pump, and beside there is a man who consuming this petrol, how the differs the rates of this, how this is consumed, how it is saved, all this kind of a picture is to preserve. And also not only that, so the election of the people in the crowd, how this is canvassing was done. Okay, all the banners holding people, the shouting people. So this is kind of some of cartoons used to make it. Let us go to the further explanation of our lesson, chapter by chapter. We have in this lesson we have more or less we have 19 to 20 chapter. 20 chapter here. I will go through you to the lesson by chapter because it is a imaginary, the myth story. Okay, the imaginary of our R.K. Lakshman's myth story. Myth is a story which was created, not truly. But there is a place of Mauritius is there. If you want to know the place, you go to the Google and you just type the map of Mauritius, you will find that the picture. Okay, it is a small island. Okay, let's see. The world atlas I have with me has many little dots and the specks which have really nothing to do with the world or a geography. Okay, in his hand he has the world map, but on that map, this is quite what he says here, many little dots and the specks. Why he says in the continuation of the sentence, it is an old one. You know, if you had kept the old map in your hand, before the 1947, the map was in your hand, you know the condition of this, no? But that kind of a map he is had. He is there in front of the map now of the Mauritius. Okay. The weather and the generations of the cockroaches have put them there. Okay, in the beginning, this is the weather condition of that Mauritius, and here and there some cockroaches were rolling over. The map was put in there in front of it. So it was with some difficulty that I was able to locate Mauritius in the vastness of the Indian Ocean. This Mauritius is in the Indian Ocean. We could locate this. We can identify. We can search is the place of the Mauritius there. It is a tiny speck on an island situated below the equator on the 20th parallel. You know there is a globe, okay, full globe. There is an equator passing from India almost closer, you know, 23rd and half Celsius. And nearby that in the Indian Ocean, the same level, we find the Mauritius, he says, some 4,500 kilometers southwest of the Bombay. From Bombay, it is a 4,000 southwest to the 4,500 kilometers towards it. Okay, I hope that you understood the whole idea of this Mauritius. Mauritius is the island which, okay, it was now R.K. Lakshman wanted to reach there holding this map in his hand. That map is very old. Some spot of a dot he has, and some cockroaches have passed through over it. And in the vast of this map, he finds very small place that Mauritius, that is southwest of the Bombay. Okay, it is a 4,500 kilometers far away. Let us go to the second paragraph. Our aircraft is bearing us towards it. It means he is on his aircraft now, the small, because it is in the island, he cannot go by bus, but he has to take the aircraft. Okay, now his aircraft is on the landing there. Though the occasional glows in the clouds, I glimpse the ocean spread like the bluish grey steel shade. Okay, when he is on the top of the in the sky, on the top of the sea looks like a completely blue for him. Because why? There is a reflection of the sky. That is, the sky is blue, and that reflection is on the water. From the top, it looks is a complete. It is fully blue. Those who traveled in the flight, airplane, okay, aircraft, you know the situation how it looks. Okay, your houses to the ground is so tiny things. Okay, but when you go to the sea level, okay, it is a really nice view. Complete, it looks like a glass. It is a quite bluish gray steel. There are acres and the acres of a cloud below me, having all sorts of funny shapes in all and abstract way. Also, if you see from the outside of the window, there are the funny clouds. Okay, the flight is going in between the clouds. Okay, because that is the weather, that is the only way, the safer way the flight can travel, and that is what the expression of his. Curiously, they assembled figures in the ancient legends of China, Rome, Greece, India, and what have they. And here he says, this is how the mixture of the nationalities are being seen here. Chinese can be seen, the Rome people, the Greece, the Indians, and the whatever they have. He says, this is the mixture, there is the unity between them here, all out here, he says. That is the place of Mauritius. The third paragraph he says, I cannot help drawing the comparison, albeit ridiculous and rather far-fetched between my way observation at 1,000 meters watching the clouds and what I learned is a Mauritius later. This tiny island has an astonishingly similar variety, strange juxtapositions, incogitions, and the mixture of the race and the language. And that is what he says here. Here there is in this Mauritius, the land, there is a mixture of a race, mixture of a people. There are people of China, people of Rome, people of Greece, people of India. There are so many things it is can be found. He says that is what there is a mixture. I cannot be identified exactly what kind of people live in Mauritius. That is the island. Everybody wants to come because that is a root, sea root. That is called a marinade. Okay, so it is called a Mauritius because of that name has come also the Mauritius. Let us go to the 4th chapter. Here, Africans and Chinese, Biharis and Dutch, Persians and Tamils, Arabs, French and English all rub shoulders merrily with one another and emerge with a peculiar sense of oneness. See that here. He says in the Mauritius there are all kinds of people. Here Africans are there, Chinese are there, Biharis are there, Dutch people are there, Persians are there, Tamilians are there, Arabs, French and English all go together. They brush their shoulder each other by happily. There is no confusion, there is no conflict, but they live together. That is what he says. A Tamilian, for instance, bears a respectively South Indian face and name to go to the boot. Radhakrishnan Govindan is added from Madras. The name itself, that Radhakrishnan Govindam, that identifies that he is from the Tamilian, from the Madras. I speak to him in Tamil. He surprises me by responding in the frightful mangled English with a heavy French accent. And this author, R.K. Lakshman, who met Tamilian, his name is Radhakrishnan Govindam. When he speaks to him in Indian accent, okay, but Radhakrishnan he thought that he is the Tamilian and speak with the Tamil voice, but he gives him the response with the French English accent, that is harsh, very harsh. Okay, how are you? What are you doing? That is the harsh accent. The French people, they speak very harsh, the rough they speak. They are not rough, but the voice itself is like this. His accent is on that. Okay, hey, good morning, how are you? And this is how this accent they have put. Like this they speak. And looking at this, he gets surprised. Let us see. He surprises me by responding in the frightful mangled English with a heavy French accent. Mr. Govindan has no knowledge of Tamil. He has a tongue, has ceased curling to produce Tamil sound centuries ago. And he says here, this man Govindam, from the centuries, from the 100 years, century is 100, you know that, from 100 years ago, he has been settling there because his parents have come there and he has gone there and he forgot, he don't know how to turn. These words of Tamil, he could not pronounce, the tongue cannot turn according to the sound. Okay, and that is what the difficulty the English people have. Those who speak from the childhood, they speak English, they have difficulty of using this strong language, the Tamil, Telugu, Konkani. They have a problem because we have a strong guttural sounds we have, that is they don't have. And this is what the experience of this man here. The 5th chapter. Like others of his fellow man, his ancestors were brought to the islands as the slaves or the later as indentured laborers to work in a sugarcane field and factories or to cut timber in the jungle, and how to its boats. See here it explains. Maybe their ancestors are brought here for what reason? To as a laborer, maybe as a slaves, maybe as a sugarcane field cutters, workers. Maybe the timber is called as a wood cutter. They are called because you go to the to buy the wood, you have to go to the timber. That is called mainly they preserve the wood. This is called they are called the timber. Okay, so their roots in their origin homelands withered and disappeared with the passage of time. Maybe their roots have gone away, withered away. They may not know because they are born and brought up in there. Because their ancestors has come to the Mauritius, and these people are living here now. All of them together happily came to share in the triumphs, the defeats of whoever happens to their masters among the buccaneering timing of these days. Okay, and whatever the language, whatever the race, whatever the custom, whatever the people they are, according to their masters' good or bad, sadness and the joy, they are putting their shoulder together happily this year. The Dutch, the French and the English, and this is very important, and this area mostly because this is the between the sea, that is the island, you have to remember, the islands are always used as a maritime, okay, used for the business they have used. In the olden days, the Dutch people, French people and the English people, they used this as a Mauritius as a route canal for the Bombay to use this, their things. Who constantly waged battle for the possession of the island for its spices and sugar, or just for the strategic position on the maritime route to the east. Already I told you. This was the route, maritime route. The relaxation of the time of the route while they are doing the business towards this spices from India, sugar, and this is what the idea this archaeology gives us. Conveniently placed as it was the piratical purpose. Okay, that is for the relaxation of the purpose. Okay, to have, because they have traveled long way, and this is where they go and stay for time, and from there they come back. Because that is the only they find the safest place. Because it is quite far away from the land. Enemies could not, or the robbers could not, or the this is the olden things they used to do. Let us see to the sixth chapter. However, the Battle of 1810 ended all that in favor of the English. And here, between the 1810, there was a fight between the Dutch and the English. Sorry, French and the English. Okay, the French handed over to the island after exacting the favor from the conqueror, that is the French influence on the island, be left intact. Who won? The English people won, but with the one contract. What is that contract? That they cannot forget the Dutch accent, the French accent from the people. Okay, that is what the things happen. The English kept their word to the last day of their rule. Till the English people are ruling, they kept their contract. What is that? And that is ended in the 1968. See, the war took place, fight took place in the 1810, and during that war fight, who won? English people won, but they had the contract with the French people. They have this French. If you have the good morning, they say, we say good morning. No? The French people say good morning. It is not a good morning, it is a good morning. The French. Okay, and that is the accent is different. See, the accent is different, the sound is different. That they cannot take it out. That is the agreement they have. If that only we are going to leave the place, even though we are defeated. And the English people kept their word till 1968. And so we still have a very musical but unpronounceable name. See, Good Morgan. Can you pronounce? If you don't know, You cannot hear what I said also. Yes or no? Because we have traveled all over the things, we know. We have met the people. Okay, so that they speak like this. Okay, there are some names, it is quite difficult to pronounce. Throxux, bitches, Bu basil, Quarter bornes, Kurepipe rose, Belle, and so on. Like this, the names they could not change it. The French words they could not change it. They kept it till the 1960s. Let us go to the 7th chapter. The people are extremely relaxed and warm towards the strangers, but they are not even bothered, not even the troubled by the stranger coming inside the island. See, they were in the room with everybody. It means everybody was accepted there. Okay. In the streets, in the bazaar, in the restaurants, it is common to be greeted and smiled at as if you were a long lost friend. So much so, even the unknown person could greet, no? Very with a big broad smile, as if he knows that he knows him from the long time. Okay, that is, but see, and that is what the word, there is a unity between them, there is a communion between them in that place. That is what he says. Coming from Bombay, with a precast grim expression of the city dweller, I react awkwardly at first to such spontaneity and feel ashamed that I am not even able to produce a matching smile. But here, R.K. Lakshman was ashamed, no? Looking at the people, even they don't know me, they give a broad, wide smile, but that which I cannot, artificial smile, I cannot give it. And that is what is confusion here. Okay, let's see to the 8th chapter. The same atmosphere of the friendliness prevail even in the Port Louis, and the one more island is called the Port Louis. That is the same friendliness, that is the same brotherlyhood. Also, they can find prevail, exist from in the Port Louis, the seat of government. The cabinet minister and the others in high position do not act as if they were born of the grace, as if they are coming from the angel of the Lord. They say, no? If the angel of the Lord, ever you can see there is a sadness in their face. Always laughing, always laughing. That is what they say. So that we are gifted for that. He says, they are just like ordinary people. One bumps into the airport log or into the hotel lobby. There is a airport log where nobody can enter. Okay, but in the hotel lobby, that anybody can be enter, and that is what the areas they can find them. They are assuming, accessible, communicative, and above all, see how they are related to each other. Go about without the protective shield of a hungers on and security men to repel casual approaches. There was no need of a security for them. Everything was a friendly. I am shown as a modest looking flat in the busy street lined with the shops and the crowding traffic. Mauritius is the busy area because many people issues. I will have seen in the beginning that I have seen. No, who all are there? Chinese, Japanese, Romans, Europeans, Dutch, French, English, Tamilian, Biharis, all were there. All kind of people were there. So all are migrating from one place to the other place. That was the things. So that there was everybody looking as a friendly. So Port Louis brings. So I am shown as a modest looking flat into the busy street lined with the shops and the crawling traffic. It is the residence of the Prime Minister of Mauritius. Okay, Port Louis brings to my mind Joseph Conrad and the Mogam. This little port town seems as if it were built at the suggestion of these winters as writers to suit their novel and short story. Even this, the buildings are built for the short while, it says here, for the short story. No, it is not built for a longer year. Even it was unfoldable buildings, he says. Why? Later he says here. Let's see. Let's listen carefully. This merchant ships, travelers, digits, stands anchored in the harbor with cobwebs and ropes and the festoons of the flags hanging from their masts. And this all remain only hanging from the mast. Mast is a boat rowing paddle, that is called a mast. Okay. Greeny sailors and dock hands, is seamen's caps long on the void drums and the packing case or alone against the bleak warehouse walls, smoking pipes, sugarcane fields like the carpet of a green cover the island on all sides so far as eye can see up to the foot of the distance, blue mountains that ring the island. This is always green place, looks so beautiful. It is like a carpet, he says, green carpet, he says, always spread on the land. A volcanic happening of the geological ages. These mountains do not have the traditional monotonous pyramidical space, so that there is no monotonous, one kind of things. Mono is the one. Okay. After few years, this Mauritius remain as the same landscape. No, that changes because there is a continuous volcanoes eruption. You know the volcano, no? Jwalamukhi, volcanoes falling from. No, it comes out and this whole land became upside down. Okay, because it is in the middle of the sea. There outlines are the freakish and the whimsical with the unexpected sweeps and the perpendicular drops, which I have explained to you, and pinpointed peaks, precariously doing the balancing act with the boulders and the big and the skyscrapers. And there are peaks on the mountains. Mountain top are called pinpointed peaks. They are, okay, as if they are hanging on the from the sky or hanging on the sea level, as if it is going to fall. That is what the idea. The 9th chapter. There is no railway in Mauritius. Remember that there is no railway in Mauritius. Well-maintained trunk and the arterial roads connected various villages and towns, but there are roads connecting various villages and towns, cutting through the ubiquitous sugarcane field. Everywhere when you pass through the Mauritius in the landway, you have to pass through the beside your roads. There is a sugarcane field. That is what he says. Although the whole country is only 64 km by 50 km in size, what is the size of the country? Mauritius is a 64 km longer and the 50 km is a wider, and that is the length of this land. Driving round the island for a sightseeing makes me feel curious that I am in the place of sprawling in India. Okay, something on the part of the India. You are in the vast area, 64 km, like here to just here to Couple, no, 60 km from here. Okay, Kapla, going to the Couple is just 60 km, 60 from here. Okay, you can say 65 to 68 km, more or less same. That is the distance of the Mauritius island. You got the idea? Yes. So he says, but the excellent weather and the breathtaking landscapes all round make up for many hours spent just sitting inside the car. The weather condition of that long times also we can just sit in the car, he says, without any condition or problem. Okay, it is very common for people to drive up and down the average of 70 km for a cocktail party or a dinner with the friends, even after drinking. After having a party with their friends, they can go with the speed of a 70 kilometer. That is the so safer it is. Okay, and that is what the cool of the weather, cool of the condition he says here. Let us see the 10th one, and this is I finished. The next one we will see in the tomorrow lesson. 10th chapter. I know the trees here are so unlike and the gigantic specimens. What is that gigantic? The gigantic is the huge specimen. Looking, specimens is the one who is watch over from the top as if it is looking somebody is watching over. I have seen the Andaman Islands. Disappointingly enough, they were shot and granuled even to the interior of the jungles. But this Andaman is a jungle, cannot be seen the road, but this is something different. Looking just like a abnormally overgrown bonsai. That is one kind of a tree, overgrown bonsai. These jungles have no tiger or lions. Here in these jungles, there is no tiger, no lions or elephants or any kind of a wildlife. Okay, you don't find any wild animal, he says there. There are not even the poisonous snakes or insects. See, so neat it is. Okay, not even the insects they have, not even the poisonous snake. The bat was the only mammal before man. What was there? Before man, only there was a bat. Okay, arrived on the island with the monkey and the deer centuries ago. Later, monkeys and the deer arrived on that land. Unfortunately, the birds are dwindling in number and variety. Dwindling is the continuous coming. The dodo is a bird which could not fly and which certainly had no claims to beauty and elegance. The dodo was not a beauty, it was like a stone on the tip of a wood. It was just sitting there, it looks like. Okay, that is the bird. He says there is no beauty on that bird, no attractiveness, elegance was a negative of this island and mercifully is extinct now. But this is the only negative idea about this land itself, that is the bird dodo. And so are the giant tortoises of the Aldabra variety. But what is there here? The huge tortoise. If you have gone to the Chennai, there is a tortoise park. There you can find really the huge, like this, half of this room, the tortoises. I have seen it. And this kind of a tortoise that can be seen there. Okay, which few specimens have been brought and kept in the enclosure in the botanical gardens at the Pamplemousse. Okay, this is how these things have brought here from the far away. Let's see in the next lesson, next chapter.